Welcome to my mini-series, Dare to Inspire, something that I've been doing all of my life, through challenges, wins, and a lot of lessons learned. So in this series, you're going to be hearing from some incredible women that I've met along the way that are trailblazing in their fields. Hear about their challenges, their struggles, and how they overcome them. These women are pioneers, and I hope that this mini-series gives you some inspiration to go out there and dare to inspire others. My name's Ariana Neo, and I dare to inspire.
So I'm Veronica Gordon, and I'm the founder of a social enterprise called Our Version Media, based in Southampton.
Fabulous. So can you share a significant moment in your life that inspired you to pursue your passion?
Injustice, I think. Not personally experienced, but just general injustice. So I'm a journalist by profession, and I run Our Version Media, which is a community media program or project that helps people to tell their own stories using digital media. And the significant moment in my life was just seeing how different people are framed in negative ways, particularly by the mainstream media. And myself I was a teen runaway, a young single parent, also a black female, which is somebody who's kind of stuck in negative narratives, is in negative narratives put on top of me, for instance. And I saw that happening a lot. And that's what used to really bother me. And then when I became a mum, I was just like, no, my child cannot be brought into a world that's this, unfair. And so that was a turning point for me. That's when I realised that everything that I wanted to do was about making things more equitable and fair.
No, that's amazing. That's actually really amazing anyway. What challenges have you faced as a woman of colour, and how have you overcome them?
Actually, there'd be a lot to go through my mind, lots of different examples that would go through my mind of that, but one has stood out for me in specific, and it's not just for me, it's for other women of colour, for friends, family members and colleagues. Not being able to make mistakes at work. As a woman of colour, if a woman of colour makes a mistake at work, you don't hear the end of it. Women of colour are constantly subject to training at work, whereas colleagues, whereas white British colleagues in specific, are allowed to make mistakes on the job and kind of get rewarded for it. Whereas as a woman of colour, and I've been in that situation where, a mistake was made. I can remember it was not mine. It was actually a white male colleague's. And for some reason, the mental gymnastics of a boss to try and make the mistake look like it was mine was quite an upsetting experience to be in. But yeah, I feel like for me personally, and for many women of colour that I know, that is a really big issue. And that's just not being able to make mistakes at work.
Can you describe a specific time when you encountered something and how it's shaped you?
I think being a single mum. I think that's the one, because in a way, I feel like it shaped me to be the best person that I want to be, that I could be, because I wanted to make myself a better person for my daughter, like a role model, and also to make the world a better place. I think mums do that, you just want to make the world a better place for your children. So in a way, it was kind of a challenge and something like a propellant that just propelled me into different places. The challenge being that as a single mum, you can't do as many things as perhaps you want to do. For example, there was a point I was working in radio, broadcast journalism, and I got a really great opportunity. And this was a very long time ago. My daughter was very young, and I got a really great opportunity. And I was just like, I'm a single mum. I can't go here, there, and everywhere chasing these stories. So I settled in a marketing manager desk job. And then, so in that respect, but I never lost my passion for journalism, and still did radio and on the side. But in that respect, it kind of restrained me, but at the same time, it propelled me. So it's kind of a really odd kind of situation, but yeah that really amazing. Shaped me.
Yeah, that's amazing though, and how you've overcome it and gone through it. How important is community support in your journey, and how have you built your network?
Yeah. Oh, so community support. I think I think it's community partnership. I feel like is or community connections, partnerships. I feel is the stronger one. So for me personally, I've been in community like volunteering and everything for about 20 years, across lots of different communities, ethnicities, faiths, and I feel like relationships grow when you're genuinely, you living with people and you're working with people. You're not doing things at people and things like that. And so that's how I built my relationships. I started off, even before journalism, I started in community development, community regeneration, and I built strong community links from there. And some of the people I met then, I think that's like 25 years ago. So some of my closest friends, and we still work together, and we're still all in community fields and volunteering and working with people. And I think it's really important because you can't speak for people. You have to be part, first of all, as well. They always say like the whole community friendships and everything is really, really important for well-being and everything. Yes, and I think community is just really, really important. It's the way we all uplift each other and also enrich our lives and other people's lives as well.
What role do you believe women of colour play in affecting change in their communities?
Yeah. Do you know, it's really strange because like nationally, every time you read stuff, it seems like it's always women of colour changing the world. I know like you have, there are obviously some professions, whether it's like financing and banking or AI and things like that, and the tech companies, and they're all headed by white males. But when it comes to like in the communities and things like that, it seems like it's women of colour. Just they see something, we experience something. It's like that's not right, and like mobilise people and do things about it. So I always feel, and I don't know why we are like that. Whether it's trying to work towards social justice and fairness and equity, but I feel like we play a major role in it, and many of the women of colour that I know, including yourself, are just doing amazing things and changing lives and supporting people and also uplifting as well. And I always think that's just a really important thing. It's not about us as individuals, together, we just make life better.
Love that. I love that. If you could go back and give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
Get a mentor. I feel like growing up in a Caribbean family, my parents were from the Caribbean and moved to the UK, so I was the first, my siblings and I were growing up in a British culture in a Caribbean household. So we, that whole social capital kind of thing we didn't have. And I feel like for having a mentor just gets you places so much quicker, and I see the importance of it now, but I was never ever told of mentor, mentorships. Obviously there were people I looked up to and everything like that, but there was no one who was in the path that I wanted to pave for a start. Also there were different things I was exploring that didn't quite exist. Like I used to be into computer programming at one point, and there didn't exist someone who could guide me in that respect. But either way, I went to college and university doing sociology and social sciences, and I didn't know anyone else who did that. And then going into a career and not having mentors, it's just so valuable. I think to tell my younger self, I would say, this is what a mentor is. This is why you need one. Now go and get one.
Love that.
Yeah.
And do you mentor people?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I actually mentor quite a few, and I find it really, really rewarding. But I also have mentors. I'm a mentee myself as well, so I have mentors, and I find it so valuable. And it took me at this late stage in my life to get mentors. And again, I don't doubt at all, had I had mentors, I would be further along than where I am now. But in everything in its own time. So,
I guess it's absolutely invaluable, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So how do you practice self-care and maintain your well-being, but whilst you're pursuing all your goals?
With utmost priority. I think that's one of the, I place a lot of value on well-being and self-care, and I do lots of forest walks. That's my thing. I don't exercise, as in I don't go to the gym. I just, actually I've tried going to the gym. I can't get into the gym. So forest walks is my thing. That's the way that keeps me active. And I openly build wellbeing time into my calendar, because I feel like if you don't do that, you don't do it. It's always like, if you don't build it in, it's like a meeting comes, either book a meeting over that time, or you've got a project to catch up on and things like that. So I build my forest walks into my calendar, and then all my work meetings go around the forest walks. And then a few times of the year, I take a little forest break. But also as well, I take time to stop. And I think as women, like one lesson that took me a long time to learn was, like if you sit at home on the sofa, I used to have that feeling like, oh no, I should be doing something. I've got this project, or I've got to clean the kitchen, or I've got to do something. And then now what I do is if I have a rest, then I take that rest unapologetically. I feel like I need this rest. I want to rest, and I don't I don't think about, I've got to vacuum or I've got to do things like that. And the other thing also is on Fridays is like my family day. So in my calendar is family day. So I put no meetings on a Friday. And I don't always do it. I try to catch up with my nieces and nephews, but at least I know on a Friday I don't have to, if I wanted to, I could wear like my tracksuit all day because I've got no Zoom meetings or meetings.
I love that.
So yeah, I feel like, and as women, I think because we always do things for other people, we're often running around, whether it's children, family members, siblings and colleagues and community. At some point you have to place a priority on yourself. So I just want to really, really stress that self-care and well-being are important.
I love that. Well, thank you so much.
I'm Veronica Gordon, and I'm the founder of a social enterprise called Our Version Media based in Southampton. I'm a journalist by profession, and I now spend my time training real people in storytelling skills and smartphone filmmaking, mobile storytelling to empower people to tell their own stories. I'm Veronica Gordon, and I dare to inspire.
Yeah! I love that.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And this is her pen for her beautiful social enterprise.
Our Version Media.
Yeah.
Thank you.